Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Am I? Good evening. Good evening, Sachin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Today I am going to discuss few important topics in thermochemistry. This is very important for examination. Let us start from the beginning. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please put off your mic. Off your mic. Okay. We will start with the definition of thermochemistry. As you know, thermochemistry is that branch of chemistry which deals with the evolution or absorption of heat during a chemical reaction. If during a chemical reaction heat is evolved, then this type of reaction is called, what is? This is called exothermic reaction, right? While if heat is evolved and opposite to evolve, if heat is absorbed, then this is called endothermic reaction. We can represent the thermal reactions by means of enthalpy also. In exothermic reaction, the enthalpy change is negative. It means that in exothermic reaction, if A plus B is the reactant and C plus D is product, and amount of heat evolved with Q kilocalorie, then here the enthalpy change will be minus Q. This will be represented by del H, and it will be equal to minus Q kilocalorie. And opposite is the case for endothermic reaction. It means that for endothermic reaction, how we represent the endothermic reaction? If A plus B is the reactant and C plus D is the product, and minus Q kilocalorie, it means that Q kilocalorie heat is absorbed, then the enthalpy change here will be plus Q kilocalorie, right? There are different types of heat changes and enthalpy changes. The different type of enthalpy changes or heat changes is heat of reaction, heat of formation, heat of combustion, heat of neutralization, heat of solution, heat of hydration, heat of ionization, etc. There are also heat of sublimation, heat of vaporization, heat of fusion, heat of lattice formation. These all are different type of heat of reactions. Let us start. What is heat of reaction? It is defined as the amount of heat evolved or absorbed when the number of gram molecules of the substance as specified by the chemical equation have completely reacted. It means that if the reaction is balanced reaction, then the total amount of heat evolved or absorbed, this is called heat of reaction. As for example, if carbon, which is in solid state, combines with oxygen, which is in gaseous state, and the resultant heat CO2, which is gaseous, this evolves 94.5 kilocalorie of heat. That is, overall the reaction is CS plus O2G. It results in CO2G plus 94.5 kilocalorie. This reaction is balanced chemical reaction. And the another example here, this is a exothermic reaction. Why? Because heat is evolved here. Another example is C plus 2S. C means carbon, which is in solid state, and 2S sulfur, which is also in solid state, and the result is CS2, carbon disulfide, which is liquid. And here minus 22 kilocalorie. It means that 22 kilocalorie heat is absorbed here. This is the example of endothermic reaction. Hence, we have discussed here heat of reaction. How we have defined the heat of reaction? Heat of reaction is the amount of heat evolved or absorbed when the number of gram molecules of the substances as specified by the chemical equation have completely reacted. Completely reacted means by balanced chemical reaction. Now, the second one, this is heat of combustion. What do you mean by combustion? Combustion का मतलब क्या होता है? Combustion, it means that when a substance burns in oxygen, presence of oxygen, this is called combustion. It is defined as the amount of heat evolved when 1 mole of a compound is burned completely at a given temperature and under normal pressure. I repeat, amount of heat evolved when 1 mole of a compound is burned completely at a given temperature and under normal pressure. Same is the example here, CS plus O2G. It means that carbon is burnt here in presence of oxygen to give CO2 gaseous plus 94.5 kilocalorie. The heat of combustion of carbon here is 94.5 kilocalorie. Why? Because carbon is burnt here in presence of oxygen. There are several uses of heat of combustion. Its application is calculation of heat of formation, calculation of heat of transition, determination of calorific value of food and fuels. This is heat of combustion. Next is heat of neutralization. What is neutralization? Acid reacts with base to give salt and water. This type of reaction is called neutralization reaction. Hence, we define heat of neutralization as the heat change at a given temperature accompanying the neutralization of 1 gram equivalent of an acid by 1 gram equivalent of a base in dilute solution. It means that here the amount of acid which is going to be neutralized by base, this should be equal to 1 gram equivalent. That is 1 gram here, the temperature, given temperature, heat exchange at a given temperature accompanying the neutralization of 1 gram equivalent of an acid by 1 gram equivalent of a base in dilute solution. Example, ideal example, the universal example, we state time and again this example. This example is HCl, this is acid, this is in aqueous form plus NaOH, this is also in aqueous form, and that combines to give NaCl, which is aqueous plus H2O. And here del H is equal to minus 13.7 kilocalorie. Minus 13.7 kilocalorie, here del H is change in enthalpy, and here the heat of reaction here will be plus 13.7 kilocalorie. I have stated earlier that amount of heat or evolved or absorbed, this is represented by enthalpy also. And if this is exothermic, the enthalpy change will be minus, and if this is endothermic, the enthalpy change will be plus. Here the enthalpy change is minus 13.7 kilocalorie. Now, heat of solution. Heat of solution, what is heat of solution? It is defined as the heat change accompanying the dissolution of 1 gram mole of a solute in such large excess of solvent so that no more heat change occurs when solvent is added. It is also called integral heat of solution. It means that the amount of heat, maximum amount of heat which is going to be evolved during the dissolution of 1 gram mole of a solute in large excess of solvent. This is called heat of solution. Now, next is heat of hydration. Hydration means combining with water molecule. It is the amount of heat evolved when a mole of anhydrous substance combines with the requisite number of moles of water to form the hydrate. This is called heat of hydration. Similarly, there is heat of ionization, and it is defined as the amount of heat absorbed in the ionization of one equivalent of weak acid or weak base. This is heat of ionization. Another term is heat of fusion. Heat of fusion, it is defined as the amount of heat absorbed in the conversion of 1 mole of a solid to liquid. Solid to liquid, fusion. Fusion of ice. Fusion of ice, it means that ice is converted into water. This process is called fusion. Similarly, heat of lattice formation. The amount of heat released in the formation of 1 mole of ionic solid from its gaseous ions. And from this lattice formation, there is a term which is lattice energy, heat of dissociation. It is the amount of heat absorbed in the dissociation of 1 mole of a gaseous molecule to its constituent atoms in gaseous state. This is heat of dissociation. Dissociation means to dissociate, to separate, to be separate. Similarly, on the basis of these all concepts, there was a scientist whose name was Hess, and he proposed a very important law which is called Hess's law. Hess's law, he proposed a law which is called Hess's law. This is very important law, and it is overall called Hess's law of constant heat summation. Hess's law of constant heat summation. The law states that if any change is brought about by 2 or more methods in one step or more steps, the total amount of heat evolved or absorbed will be the same, no matter by which method the change is carried out. It means that if a reaction is going to take place either in one step or in several steps, then the amount of heat evolved in single step or in say total amount of heat evolved will be same. As for example, if carbon dioxide is formed by combining with C plus O2 in one step, the overall heat evolved is 94.5 kilocalorie. That is 94,000 over exact value is 94,380 calories. It means that this can happen in 2 steps. First, carbon dioxide is directly formed, and second step, it involves 2 steps. First carbon monoxide is formed, and then carbon monoxide again combines with limited amount of oxygen to give carbon dioxide. In one step, the heat evolved is C plus O2 is equal to CO2 plus 94,380 calories. This is the exact value. And in second method, the carbon dioxide is formed by combining with carbon and oxygen in 2 steps. In first step, carbon combines with limited amount of oxygen to give carbon monoxide, that is C plus half O2 is equal to CO plus 26,380 calories. And in second step, CO plus half O2. It means that firstly carbon monoxide is formed, and in second step carbon monoxide again combines with limited amount of oxygen to give carbon dioxide. That is CO plus half O2 is equal to CO2 plus 68,000 calories. Mark here, in first method, what happens? Carbon combines with oxygen to give CO2 in one step, and the overall heat evolved is 94,380 calories. And second method, this happens in 2 steps. First, carbon combines with limited amount of oxygen to give carbon monoxide in first step with the evolution of 26,380 calories. And in second step again, the obtained carbon monoxide that combines with limited amount of oxygen, that is CO plus half O2 is equal to give CO2 plus 68,000 calories. Now, if we add 26,380 calories, that is the heat evolved in the first step of second method, that is in the formation of carbon monoxide, and in second step, when carbon monoxide combines with oxygen to give CO2, the heat evolved is 68,000 calories. The overall sum of the heat evolved, total sum of the heat evolved is 26,380 calories in first step, and in second step it is 68,000 calories. Now, if you add these two amounts of heat, that is 68,000 calories and 26,380 calories, the overall sum of the evolved heat is 94,380 calories. This is same to the formation of CO2 in one step, that is in the first method. It means that this proves the Hess's law. It means that here, if a reaction proceeds in either in one step or in several steps, the amount of heat liberated in one step or in several steps, the overall heat liberated will be same. That is here, if the carbon monoxide is formed in one step, the evolved heat is 94,380 calorie, and if carbon dioxide is formed in two steps, in first step 26,380 calorie heat is formed, and in the second step this is 68,000. Hence overall amount of heat evolved will be second method. In second method, the overall amount of heat evolved will be 26,380 calorie plus 68,000 calorie, that is 94,380 calorie. It certifies, it proves the Hess's law, and hence the law is called Hess's law of constant heat summation. It means that the amount of heat evolved in first method or in second method, the overall amount of heat liberated is same. Now, thus the total heat evolved in second method is 94,380 calorie, which is the same as the heat evolved in the first method. That is, we can state it as if A is the reactant and B is the product, and if A is converted into B in one step and Q amount of heat is evolved. In one step, Q amount of heat is evolved, and in second step, if Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 amount of heat is evolved, then Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 amount of heat, this will be equal to Q amount of heat. That is the heat in one step, and Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, that is heat evolved in several steps. This is the Hess's law of constant heat summation. This Hess's law of constant heat summation, this has got several applications. Hess's law application, we are discussing here the application of Hess's law. Hess's law helps us to calculate the heat of formation and heat of combustion of compounds. Hess's law is used in calculating the heat of transition, that is conversion of one allotropic form into another. Next, now the very important topic which I am going to discuss, this is also very important for your examination. This is Kirchhoff's law, Kirchhoff's equation. This is very important. Mark here, this is very important. Again, I am repeating. Kirchhoff's equation. Kirchhoff's equation relates the variation of heat of reaction with temperature. Mark here, what it deals? It deals the variation of heat of reaction with temperature, and the exact relationship between the heat change and temperature is obtained by the application of the first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics, we have discussed earlier. What is first law of thermodynamics? This is nothing but the law of conservation of energy. Let us consider a change A to B, where A is the initial state or reactant, B the final state or product. It means that here A to B, A arrow B, A is the reactant, B is the product. A is the initial state or reactant, B the final state or product. If we are required to convert A at temperature T1, A is at temperature T1 to B at temperature T2, it means that we are going to convert A, which is at temperature T1, to B at temperature T2. This can be done by two different ways. And what will happen? We have just discussed Hess's law. According to Hess's law, the total change of heat in both cases must be the same. Now, first, the change A to B is made to occur at T1. A to B is made to occur at T1 and constant pressure. The heat absorbed in this reaction is equal to the difference in heat contents of final and initial state. HB minus HA. H B minus HA. It means that heat content of B minus heat content of A is equal to del H1. Del means triangle, a small triangle. This is del H1. Del is the difference of the heat content of B and the difference of the heat content of A. HB minus HA is equal to del H1. The temperature of the state P is now raised from T1 to T2. This all happens at the temperature T1. And now the temperature of the state B, this is raised from T1 to T2. And the quantity of heat required for this change at constant pressure will be del T into Cp B. Del T is the temperature change. It means that if the temperature is raised from T1 to T2, then T2 minus T1 is equal to del T. And Cp is a specific heat. A specific heat, that is heat capacity at constant pressure. Pressure is constant here, where Cpb is the heat capacity of B at constant pressure. Hence, the total heat change is equal to del H1 plus del T into Cp into B. This is at T1 temperature. Now, the temperature of A, second case, the temperature of A is first reached from T1 to T2, and the heat absorbed is del T Cpa, where Cpa is the heat capacity of the state A. Now, to convert A at temperature T2 to B, now the temperature is T2. In first case, it was T1. The work required for this transformation is del H2, heat content. Hence, total heat change in this case is equal to del H2 plus del T into Cp into A. First was del H1 plus del T into Cp into B. And second case, this is del H2 plus del T into Cp into A. Now, according to Hess's law, what is? In one step, if the reaction takes place in one step or in several steps, the overall heat evolved is same. Hence, the first and second case, this will be equal. That is, according to Hess's law, the two heat changes must be identical. So that these two heat changes are identical. First is del H1 plus del T Cp into B, and second is del H2 plus del T Cp into A. It means that here del H1 plus del T Cp into B is equal to del H2 plus del T Cp into A. And if we take H2 in left hand side, what happens? Del H2 minus del H1 by del T is equal to Cpb minus Cpa is equal to del Cp, where del Cp is a change in the heat capacities of final and initial state. If changes in temperature is small, if this is very small, we can replace triangular delta by delta. This equation may be put as del H by del T at constant pressure is equal to del Cp. This is about constant pressure, and same is the case for constant volume. This equation was first derived by G.R. Kirchhoff 1858 and known as Kirchhoff's equation. At constant volume, the quantity of heat absorbed is equal to change in internal energy, that is del E, and heat capacity is introduced at constant volume. At constant volume, in place of Cp, we'll put Cv. Hence, equation 1 becomes, in place of Cp, Cv will be placed here, and in place of del H, it will be del E. That is del E upon del T at constant volume is equal to del Cv. See here, I will give you the notes of all this, particularly this Kirchhoff equation. This is if this is visible or not. I'm going to show you. See here. Is it visible? The change A to B is made to occur at T1 and constant pressure. The heat absorbed in this reaction is equal to the difference in heat contents of final and initial state. It means that here HB, heat content of B, and heat content of A is equal to del H1. Difference of these two, this is represented here by del H1. The temperature of the state P is now raised from T1 to T2, and the quantity of heat required for this change at constant pressure will be del T Cp into B, where Cpb is the heat capacity of B at constant pressure. Hence, the total heat change, Cp means heat capacity at constant pressure, that is specific heat at constant pressure. Hence, the total heat change is equal to del H1 plus del T into Cp into B. And if the temperature is raised from T1 to T2, this is the second stage. The temperature of A is first raised from T1 to T2, and the heat absorbed is del T, Cp into A, where Cpa is the heat capacity of the state A. Now A is converted to B at temperature T2. Here it was at temperature T1, and here it is temperature T2. Here the work required for this transformation is del H2. Hence, opposite to this is del H1 plus del T Cp into B, and this is del H2 plus del T Cp into A. And as by Hess's law, these two quantities will be equal. That is, here del H1 plus del T Cp into B will be equal to del H2 plus del T Cp into A, and here del H2 minus del H1 by del T is equal to Cpb minus Cpa, and the difference of these two quantities, this is represented by del Cp, where del Cp is the change in heat capacities of final and initial states if change in temperature is small. Small means we are representing here to demonstrate the difference by this delta. In place of this del, we are representing here by this del. This denotes a very small quantity. If change in temperature is small, this equation may be represented as del H upon del T. Mark here del H in place of these two, difference of these two. This is represented here by del H by del T. In place of this del is put here, is represented del T at constant pressure is equal to del Cp. This is first, and same is the case for constant volume. This equation 1 was first derived by G.R. Kirchhoff at 1858 and is known as Kirchhoff's equation. At constant volume, the quantity of heat absorbed is equal to change in internal energy, that is del E. Here, in previous case, this was del H, and heat capacity is expressed at constant volume. Hence, here del E upon del T. In previous case, this was del H upon del T. At here, this is constant volume. There it was constant pressure is equal to del Cv. In general case, if there are more than one reagents, in general case, we can put it as nu AA. It means that the number of moles of A, which is reactant, this is nu A plus nu BB plus nu CC these all are the reactants, and in RHS, and that is in product side, this is nu LL plus nu MM plus nu NN plus so on. Here Cp will be like previous case where there was one reactant and one product. Here there are several reactants and several products. Here Cp, that is del Cp, this is equal to nu L. L means product minus reactant. It gives you the difference. Nu L Cpl plus nu M Cpm plus dot dot. This is the product, and this will be, and the reactant will be subtracted from it, that is minus nu A Cpa plus nu B Cpb plus so on. Integrating the equation 1, that is del H upon del T at constant pressure is equal to del Cp. What happens? The first is we get integration of d del H, integration of between the limits 0 and T. Integrating the equation 1 between the temperature 0 and T, we have d del H is equal to integration 0 to T del Cp dt, or del H is equal to integration of 0 to T del Cp dt plus K. What is K here? K is integration constant, where K is a constant. But when T is equal to 0, then del H0 will be equal to K, and then this will be equal to del H minus del H0, integration 0 to T. In integration, this will be del Cp into dt. See here. See here. In general case, if reaction proceeds in, there are various reactants and various products, then what will happen? Various reactants and various products. Here these all the reactants, these all are the products. Here del Cp will be like this. These all are the products, these all are the reactants, and integrating the equation 1, that is Cp del H upon del T at constant pressure is equal to del Cp. We are going to integrate it between the limit 0 and T, temperature is 0 and T. We have d del H is equal to integration of 0 to T del Cp into dt. Del Cp into dt. This comes here. Del Cp into dt, or del H, integration of this will be equal to del H is equal to 0 to T in integration del Cp into dt plus K. And now we will calculate the value of K by putting the value of H0. When T is equal to 0, when T is equal to 0, then del H0 will be equal to K, that is del H minus del H0 is equal to integration del Cp into dt, integration 0 to T, where del H is the change in heat content of temperature at temperature T, and del H0 is the integration constant representing the change in heat content at absolute 0. In order to evaluate the value of integral, it is necessary to know how the heat capacity varies with temperature. Now, a general equation is given. Cp is equal to small a plus Bt plus C T square plus dt cube plus so on, where A, B, C, etc. are constants for a given substance. That is, now del Cp, overall del Cp will be equal to summation of nu A plus summation of nu B into T plus summation of nu C into T square plus summation of nu D into T cube plus so and so on. And now this summation nu A, this is represented by alpha, and again summation of nu B, this is represented by beta, and summation of nu C, this is by gamma, nu D, this is represented by delta. Hence the reaction becomes del Cp is equal to alpha plus beta t plus gamma t square plus del t cube plus del t cube plus so and so on. Hence equation 3 becomes now 3. That is equation number 3, which is del h minus del h0 is equal to integration 0 to t del Cp into dt. 3 becomes del h is equal to del h0. We are taking this del h0 from LHS to RHS, del h0, and in integration, that is integration 0 to t, and in place of del Cp, we are putting here alpha plus beta t plus gamma t square plus delta t cube plus so and so on into dt. That is del h is equal to del h0, and we have after integration we get del h0 plus alpha t plus half beta t square plus 1 by 3 gamma t cube plus 1 by 4 delta t to the power 4 plus so and so on. This is the equation number 4. If heat capacities are independent of temperature, then beta, gamma, delta are 0. Hence equation, the above equation becomes all the quantities, that is except alpha, beta, gamma, delta, all are 0. Del H is equal to del H0 plus alpha into T, where del Cp is constant between two temperature T1 and T2. Then the above equation can be put as integration of d del H, H1 to H2, and in right hand side this is integration of del Cp into dt, and integration from T1 to T2. What happens? The result will be overall on solving this integration we get del H2 minus del H1 is equal to del Cp into T2 minus T1. This is equation number 6. So overall there are 6 equations, and here the above equation 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6 are various forms of Kirchhoff's equation. I have discussed in detail the Kirchhoff's equation. This is very, very important for your examination, and I will give you this in PDF form in your WhatsApp group. You can study it very carefully because it can come in your examination. Thank you.